If you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the like button, Billy, get on it. Bug your brother. Tell him to do the same.
Scott, bad luck with Nate Pearson doesn't include mononucleosis. That didn't work with the girl I was dating. It shouldn't be an excuse for Pearson. I wish him great success in the bullpen. Blue Jays need it. Andrew, I'm sorry to hear that mono derailed your girlfriend's baseball career.
Yeah.
I still chalk mono up to bad luck.
That is so funny, though. I do like the point he's getting at. It's like, all these herpes, such bad luck. Like,
all right, let's talk Nate Pearson, Scott. Adam Cimber was sent to the IL. I keep wanting to say sent down to the IL. Rhomboid? What was the injury?
Rhomboid strain in the membrane.
Rhomboiditis for Adam Cimber. You should try throwing overhand. Maybe that might help.
Have you heard the word? Have you heard rhomboid before? I think this is the first time in my life that I've heard rhomboid. And since seeing the word yesterday, I now feel like it is a permanent fixture in my vocabulary. Rhomboid will not go away. The rhomboid strain.
Yeah, I hope to see it in your act soon. It's a great word. I haven't heard rhomboid before. When I first heard it, I was thinking the flattened square, but that's a rhombus.
The rhombus.
The rhombus, yeah.
No, rhombus strain and rhomboid strain, very different.
Very different, yeah. Anyways, we're completely derailed. This is great. Nate Pearson expectations?
Is it wrong to be like, I don't really have expectations for Nate Pearson at this point?
No,
I'm excited. I'm excited he's up. He has looked incredible in AAA so far. And the fact that he kind of took himself from that seventh inning guy and put himself in the closing position in Buffalo so quickly was awesome to see. He has 3 saves. He pitched 8.1 innings, struck out 45% of the hitters he faced. And this is why he was the guy who was called up. Adam Cimber needed to go to the IL. And when you just took a look at the guys in AAA, Nate had put himself on the first to be called up list. Like he just dominated from the point he took the ball in AAA. He looked good enough in spring training that he was the dude John Schneider and the organization decided to go to. Listen, there is so much upside on Nate Pearson. We don't need to dwell on that so much because we all know what he has for stuff. His fastball is elite, has been since he was touted as the number 1 prospect in baseball back in 2020. What I need to see from Nate Pearson, stay healthy and hit the strike zone. If you're doing that, I think the rest will look after itself. What do you, Adam, wish to see out of Nate Pearson?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
hitting
really
his spots, man. For me, that's all I want. Just show you can hit the spots you're trying to hit. Because he does have a 15% walk rate.
I'm really trying to temper my expectations with Nate Pearson. On the one hand, I'm sure he will pitch for the Blue Jays this week. I don't know when. I'm sure there will be an opportunity. But Adam Cimber won't be gone for long. Once he's back, is Nate Pearson the first guy getting sent down? Or is he pitch what? Because that's kind of where I feel
get your
like
question. Is this going to be a performance-based?
We all have questions with Anthony Bass. Trevor Richards at the start of the year, we sure did, although he's looked better since. If Nate Pearson pitches twice, has like 5 strikeouts in 2 innings and 2 or 3 walks, he's getting sent down, right? Or is he stealing Anthony Bass's job?
No, he's not taking Bass's job. I think I think truly the jobs that are on the
So you don't
chopping
think Bass's
block.
job is on the block?
No, I don't.
Okay. Whose job is on the block then? Is it still Trevor Richards?
I think it's between Richards, Cimber. So listen, Trevor Richards doesn't have
Cimber.
options. I I don't know. And I could be wrong on that. And I mean, his numbers have looked rough this season. He hasn't been that guy that we have seen and gotten used to. And he has options. So Cimber doesn't have enough playing time to block the move down to AAA, and they wouldn't need to lose an asset and expose him to the waiver wire. Zach Pop is also the other guy I think is on the bubble. And I think that has more to do with the fact, again, he has an option than it is his performance, because he has been very good outside of the Zach Pop implosion that we saw last week. Listen, if you look at just strikeout rate by relievers, Trevor Richards currently has the highest strikeout rate in this bullpen. He's striking out 34% of the hitters he's facing. Zach Pop is second with 32%. Jordan Romano has 28%. Eric Swanson is at 26%. And so is Jimmy Garcia. MLB average, by the way, is a 24.8% strikeout rate. So all five of these guys are above Major League Baseball average. It's what you like to see in the bullpen. And Nate Pearson hopefully is going to continue to take that 45% strikeout rate in AAA and translate it to the big leagues. That's tough to do. I don't know who the odd man out is, man. The Jays are kind of in a precarious spot with the bullpen because they don't have a lot of flexibility and options with who they can move around.
Well, I mean, they can play the IL injury Ferris wheel.
Yes.
I guess is a thing.
Which can come naturally or be somewhat manipulated depending on where this bullpen's at.
Right now, I think Anthony Bass is fully on my hot seat, my friend. He's $3 million this year, nothing else. So to DFA him, not like a pricey move. Cut ties with Anthony Bass. I mean, he was good last year, but not
He
look
was
good
great
this year.
last year.
Not
No,
look good
he has
this
struggled.
year.
He has struggled out of the gate.
ERA 7.36, a whip over 2.
And that's the one that's a real black mark is his whip.
He's been just getting hit around. So I don't know what the advanced like metrics are on what he's doing, but he is getting beat up on. And yeah, with him only he's 35.
Yes.
So what's the longevity with Anthony Bass?
Honestly, I really do think, dude, we would need to see Anthony Bass continue to be terrible for at least another month before this is a serious conversation. Wow. I could be wrong. This team is in win now mode, and you would hope that when you're after a championship, that cuts through all the bullshit and it doesn't really matter. But
like, I just mean, look, I mean, this is I guess a good problem to have, a best case scenario. But like, if Nate Pearson, or whatever, take Nate Pearson's name out my mouth, right? Whoever it is, Zulueta or any guy, right? If they do come up,
you just Will Smith yourself there.
Right? I know, I did. Yeah, the old reverse Will Smith. Whatever the guy is that gets the call up from AAA to cover an IL stint, if they're dealing and Anthony Bass is putting 2 people on base an inning, like what are we doing here? Like, get this kid out of my bullpen, man.
If Anthony Bass is put on waiver, he's grabbed immediately, correct?
Sure. Well, yeah, like there's always someone to take a chance on someone, but what did we give up for Anthony Bass last year?
Jordan Groshans, friend of the show.
one of our probably a top 5 prospect in the organization when we traded him.
Yeah, I would say so.
Look, Anthony
Made
Bass was
his
great last year. He pitched like a ERA around 1, I think, like 1.5. It was great. But bullpen arms are volatile from one year to the next, right?
from 1
Anthony
month to the next also.
Rafael Dolis was good for us in 2020 and then was abysmal the following season. Like, I don't know. That's He's 35 though. Like we're not giving up on a guy who's 28 and could still have like a career that's haunting us for years to come down the road. Anthony Bass is like squarely my number one hot seat right now. I guess what I'm saying is I want to see more of him as fast as I can so we can get rid of him or feel good about him
He
moving
finds it.
forward.
Yeah.
Like it's a pooper get off the pot spot for Anthony Bass. I don't know. I guess I should just look at the game logs for Anthony Bass. Is it all on the back of like one blow up?
I
That
honestly have not looked into Bass's
7
numbers
innings
too
pitched.
closely.
Um okay, so there's 8 outings. Looks like 1 earned run, 0-0-2, 0-1-1-1. So
Okay, so he is spreading it out,
yeah.
which is almost worse. You would way rather
Yeah.
see a guy just get, it's like Gosman, right? You look at his 3 ERA and you're like, ooh, I thought he pitched better than a 3 ERA. And then you look closer and you're like, oh yeah, that 1 inning he allowed 7 runs. That really affected his numbers.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I mean, April 6th, he had 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. That was his best one to date. Otherwise, April 11th came in for 1 shutout inning, no hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Got the job done. Otherwise, yeah, I would say it's 6 ugly innings, 2 good innings. So
Mhm.
that's not what you want to see for Anthony Bass. Anyways, we've probably spent enough time on Anthony Bass, have we?
I would say so, but I mean, it is a good point that maybe a guy like Bass is a little more on the bubble than people are giving it credit for. I think he's pretty safe, but we'll need to see how it plays out. And this is all dependent on if Nate Pearson performs. We have yet to see an inning pitched in the big leagues from him in 2023, so maybe we should be slow in our roll.
That's fair. Um, Again, I just want to say whether it's Nate or someone else, could be anybody. I think Bass is on the hot seat. Mitch White's coming back soon.
That's true.